Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And today I'm going to do a meditation video from the language of letting go. And I've received so many messages the last couple days from people saying, I missed your meditations, you're doing your meditations on a daily basis. And I kind of think that people get sick of the meditations, which is why I don't do them every day or, you know, whatever. But yesterday I was with family all day long. My brother-in-law flew in from San Diego for his birthday. He's here for a couple days. And I was just like, you know what, it is more important to spend time with my family. I love making videos, but I can make videos tomorrow. So I waited and to make videos till today. But I had a video that I was going to post the other day on this channel, and then it got too late. This was Tuesday night, and it got too late, and so I was going to just post it yesterday, and I deleted it somehow. So I'm not technological, I can't do math. So today, we're going to start over, and we're going to attempt this again. You know, like, when you mess up, you try again, you try again, you try again. Okay. So today's that I'm going to read, which is from yesterday's, is called Difficult People. And I have not read this one yet. I didn't read this book yesterday, and I didn't read it today. I read the other Melody Beatty book, and I just lost my place. So I'm going to read it today, and then tomorrow I may pick up December 6th and December 7th. There are so many really good ones in here. And in fact, when I opened the book, December 25th, I think it's called The Holidays. Hold on a second. Yep, December 25th is the holidays, and so I'm thinking about actually doing that one early, and then the 26th is growth, which is a really good one for the end of the year, reflecting back on the things that we've learned in the year and things like that. But today I want to do this one, which is called Difficult People. Okay, so are you ready? Now, I haven't read this one, so I don't know what it's going to say. Difficult People, December 5th. Few things can make us feel crazier than expecting something from someone who has nothing to give. Few things can frustrate us more than trying to make a person someone he or she isn't. We feel crazy when we try to pretend that person is someone he or she is not. We may have spent years negotiating with reality concerning particular people from our past and our present. We may have spent years trying to get someone to love us in a certain way when that person cannot or will not. I want to remember that point right there. It is time to let it go. It is time to let him or her go. That doesn't mean we can't love that person anymore. It means that we will feel the immense relief that comes when we stop denying reality and begin accepting. We release that person to be who he or she actually is. We stop trying to make that person be someone he or she is not. We deal with our feelings and walk away from the destructive system. We learn to love and care differently in a way that takes reality into account. We enter into a relationship with that person on new terms, taking ourselves and our needs into account. If a person is addicted to alcohol, other drugs, misery, or other people, we let go of his or her addiction. We take our hands off of it. We give his or her life back. And we, in the process, are given our life and freedom in return. We stop letting what we are not getting from that person control us. We take responsibility for our life. We go ahead with the process of loving and taking care of ourselves. We decide how we want to interact with that person, taking reality and our own best interests into account. We get angry, we feel hurt, but we land in a place of forgiveness. We set him or her free, and we become set free from bondage. This is the heart of detaching in love. Today I will work at detaching in love from troublesome people in my life. I will strive to accept reality in my relationships. I will give myself permission to take care of myself in my relationships with emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual freedom for both people as my goal. Oh my God, that's like such a profound meditation for me, especially in things that I've been working on, I would say, in the last 5 or 10 years of my life. And there's a couple things that I want to say about this. You know, it was interesting going into this when it was titled Difficult People. I really didn't have any idea of what this meditation would be about. I thought it might be like how to deal with difficult people and all that kind of stuff. And I think the interesting thing about, I will just say this going, into that, is that difficult people, like when we talk about difficult people, it's all perspective, right? So we might say, oh, this person is difficult or that person is difficult, but those people might see us as difficult as well, right? And so I think it's really about always taking a look at ourselves. One of the, I would say, the misunderstandings about the 12-step programs like Al-Anon specifically that are help friends and family members of alcoholics and addicts is that many people believe that if they go to Al-Anon or Nar-Anon or things like that, that they are going to be taught how to cure the alcoholic or addict, when in fact that has nothing to do with what those programs are about. Those programs are 12-step programs to help people that are like in relationships or have been in relationships. I've met many people in Al-Anon before that haven't been in relationships with addictive people in over 20 years. You know, they may have grown up in addictive homes. Adult children of alcoholics may not have any relationship with their parents that were alcoholics. My mother has been dead for, you know, almost 11 years now, and she was sober for 13 years almost before that. Yet I still respond to the world in ways of as being an adult child of an alcoholic, if that makes sense. We carry those things with us all the time. And a friend of mine recently said to me, he said, you know, that his daughter grew up in an alcoholic home, and he got sober when she was like 15 years old, and she's like 40 something now, right? And he said, I believe that if I went into her home today, there would be things that she did that I could see were a direct response to how I acted as an active alcoholic back in the day, that she's still responding and reacting to today, positively or negatively. I mean, we have defenses that are positive as well, you know what I mean? So I think that we constantly are learning and growing to protect ourselves and defend ourselves against other people. So I think it's interesting, you know, when you talk about difficult people and all that kind of stuff. Do you hear the dogs? So one of the things, they're fighting over toys, I'm sure. One of the things that really resonated with me was at the bottom here when it says, we may have spent years trying to get someone to love us in a certain way when that person cannot or will not. And this was so important for me to learn over the years in romantic relationships and friendships and things like that. And I remember, I always talk about Oprah, right? I remember I saw in this Oprah years ago, right? And it was this guy, and he was talking to her about love. And this was one of her aha moments. And he said, it's when we expect gallon-sized love from a pint-sized person. And what he meant, okay, that a lot of times in life, often we are looking for gallon amounts of love, but maybe somebody only has pint size to offer. So we're expecting something from them that they just don't have the ability to give, you know? And when I heard that, and I started having conversations with my sponsor at the time about that, or, you know, like my friends about that, my friend Tanya and I have talked at length about this, right? What I learned was that it was my job to lower my expectations for somebody, not somebody else's job to meet my expectations. Human beings make mistakes. Human beings are fallible. Human beings don't know what other people expect of them unless we tell them often, right? So it's all a growing experience for all of us, not just some, not just a few. Every one of us is growing, right? And so when you look at that and you look at how everybody is growing and people aren't necessarily where other people are at, it's about lowering our expectations, you know? I have many, many expectations, and I have for years, about how somebody should treat me or how somebody should talk to me or how a certain situation like Christmas should be, like Christmas Eve should look this way or a vacation should look that way. And when it falls short, I get disappointed. When it falls short, I start getting angry and I get a resentment. And that's not healthy for me as an alcoholic or an addict, but it's not healthy for anybody to have resentments. You know, we throw this word resentment around. I was taught that the definition of a resentment is an unfulfilled expectation, okay? That a resentment is when somebody falls short, somebody or something falls short of how I thought that should be. For example, for 12 years, I was bullied growing up, going to, you know, elementary, junior high, and high school, right? And I've talked about that at length. I've had so many people come up to me and say, I don't understand how, you know, you talk about it, but then you release it with love, how you let it go. And even your bullies, people that were so mean and cruel to you, I've had close friends of mine that I was friends with in high school say, how do you forgive this person that was like made your life total hell, right? Well, I mean, I have to look at my expectations for what a 13-year-old would have been treating another 13-year-old at like that time, right? I mean, I don't know what was going on in their life. I don't know at any given time that somebody treats somebody a certain way, what's going on in their life. All I know is that at times of my life that have been difficult, I maybe don't respond and react the best way that I probably should. And if I want people to treat me with kindness and compassion and understanding, I have to treat others the same way. And what that means is, boom, I need to bring my expectations down really, really low. I can't have the same expectations for people that I don't have for myself. If you know, if I realize that I'm a human being and I'm infallible and I'm fallible and I make mistakes, okay, and I'm not perfect and I'm a work in progress, and I always will be till the day I die. Till the day I die, I will be learning from my mistakes. You know, and I am a believer that when you know better, you do better, right? But sometimes it takes a long time to know better. It really does. Sometimes we have to learn that you know, lesson over and over and over again until we know better. Well, other people are the same way. Other people need to learn things over and over and over again. I have had friends of mine and family members that I have had resentments at because I had expectations of how that relationship should be, when their expectations for how the relationship should be could be completely different, right? So, and then we get upset, and we get angry, and we get resentments. The only thing, okay, that has helped me in life is not just completely detaching and not having a relationship from that person, because I want to have relationships with people. I want to work things out if I possibly can with people, you know? That's what I want in my life. I really do. And, but that hasn't been, like, for me just to go, okay, I don't want you in my life anymore. Now, I do believe in removing toxicity from your life, and when somebody over and over and over and over again, like, you maybe say, okay, like, I need to not have this person in my life, if that makes sense. But if it's somebody that you just have high expectations from, and I think if you're honest with yourself and you check inside, like, what were my expectations for this person? What was my expectation for this friendship or this relationship with a family member or a romantic relationship? Did I have too high of expectations? When you ask yourself that question, if the answer is, yes, I did, try lowering it. And I remember having a conversation with my best friend in the entire world. I was bawling in the car over a friendship that I had. And I said, I have continued to lower and lower, and this was somebody that was an active alcoholic, and the friend. And I said, I have lowered and lowered and lowered my expectations. I don't know what to do. And she said, you have to keep on lowering them. And I said, I don't know how much further I can go. And she goes, until you have no expectations anymore. She said, Peter, you are expecting a lot from an active alcoholic. And she was right. She was absolutely 100% right. I had huge expectations from somebody that didn't have a gallon of love to give to me. They maybe even had a teaspoon at that point, you know, and thank God that person, you know, has gotten sober and their life looks much different today. And we are able to have a friendship, and we're able to have conversations about what they need from me as well as what I need from them, because it's not one-sided, you know. And I think often in relationships when, and I've learned this, you know, that often in relationships when there's a lot of finger pointing going on from one side, it's like, okay, maybe we need to stop and take a look. Like if I'm pointing my finger a lot at somebody else and what I didn't get and how they treated me and all that kind of stuff, what kind of friend was I to them? What kind of family member have I been to them? What kind of romantic partner was I to them? Was I the best that I possibly could be? And I've had to really take a look at that in the last 10 years and say, you know, who have I been in these situations, and what can I do to meet people's expectations? And is it realistic? Are their expectations realistic? And are my expectations realistic, you know? Sometimes it's not other people that are being difficult. Sometimes it's us. And sometimes the work needs to come within us. Typically 90% of the time, the work is about us. So anyway, I hope that helped you guys, and I'm going to go feed the pups now. I love you guys. They're ready. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.